Welcome back to Garden Wise Adventures. This is Malie, and I am excited to take you on our next adventure today. So, part of good gardening is going through your property and looking at things, finding things that might stand out as different, investigating and figuring out what is wrong. Well, I am going to show you something that I noticed today. So, here is my yard. I have a lot of trees. One type of tree that I have is called a Canadian red chokecherry. Now if you look at this one, it's nice and full, it's got great color. It is on a hill, but it's a gorgeous tree. I like to mirror things in my landscape, and so I have another tree on the other side. Now if you look at this tree, it is not as nice as the tree that I just showed you. If you look at it carefully from over here, you can see that that tree is starting to thin out. Let's go investigate and see what's going on. Okay, so I've made it up here with my tree, and if you can see in the back of me, you can see the branches are looking pretty sparse. Now trees are pretty simple to take care of. They need water, they need light, they need nutrients. So if you know the type of tree that you have and know how much of each of those they need, you can take care of a tree and have it stay very healthy. Now the Canadian red chokecherry does well in many different conditions. It can handle a lot of water, it can handle a little bit of water, it needs sun, it does need full sun, and it does need a little bit of nutrients, but it doesn't really need to have a lot of fertilizer. So to have this tree, which is on my hill, getting plenty of water, plenty of sun to start to decline, makes me think something else is going on. So the first place I always look, if I know that all of the tree's needs are being met, is to go look at the roots. So let's go down there and look at the roots. Okay, we've made the treacherous descent down my hill to look at my tree's roots. And what you can see right here is what is called a girdling root. This is a pretty drastic example of a girdling root. You can kind of see how the tree trunk is starting to get compressed. That is what is the matter with my tree. The tree has a vascular system just like people, and what this root is doing is it is cutting off the circulation to the tree, and that is why it's starting to decline. Now to take care of this, it looks like it's going to be quite a job. First thing I'm going to need to do is excavate that root and see what is going on down there. Okay, before we get started, I kind of wanted to show you my setup. First, I brought out my ladder. Now the ladder's only job is to hold the camera and to hold my tools. I am not using that to climb down. If the ladder doesn't work, I will try hanging the camera off of that low branch over there. I have my shovel. I have a pickaxe that you can see the red handle for way down there, a bucket to hold the soil. The pickaxe is because this hillside is almost completely rock. When I excavate, it's very difficult to get enough soil to put back in the hole once I pull out all the rocks. I have a few more tools down there, so when I get down there, we'll go over the tools that I have. Okay, here's a look at the tools that I'm going to be using. I am going to use the trowel, obviously, to help with the digging. And I don't know how well I'm going to be able to cut that root once we get down there. So we're going to try their saw, and then we're also going to try clippers. If neither one of those work, we may have to pull out a Dremel. I don't know if that would even work, but we're going to try it. Okay, I have set everything up. Hopefully the camera is showing what I'm doing, and we'll get busy and start digging out this root. That didn't take as long as I thought it would. Let me kind of show you what I'm finding. Okay, we have got one root going out this way. It's connected to, I think it's another root that's really digging far into the tree, which is this root right here. It's going to be quite difficult to try to remove it completely. Let's go in here. And actually, this may be the beginning of that root. So my plan of attack is I'm going to cut it on on both sides and see if I can pry it out of the tree. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to get this free, but we've got this side. As you can see, it's connected all the way over there. Now I need to figure out how to pry this side off. We're going to figure that one out too. We have figured out the issue and what caused this. As you can see right here, this is the start of the root. So we have the root coming down from the tree, and I really have done a terrible one trying to figure this out. So I'm not sure if this tree is going to survive this. But you can see the root came down here, made a sharp angle, and circled all the way around the tree. Now you may ask what would cause it to do that. And this is a problem that starts in the pot or in the balled and burlap part. You know, when the tree's in the ball and burlap. Mostly it's in pots. So when you leave a tree in a pot for too long, the roots have nowhere to go and they will start to circle. There's a Facebook group called Garden Professors blog that advocates pulling all trees and shrubs out of their pots before you plant them and washing all the soil off of those roots, and then correcting any problems like this. Sorry I'm such a mess, but it's, you know, I've been digging. This is part of the reality of gardening. Oh, that's in my eyes. Anyway, this is where my reality comes in. I am not going to be able to pull every shrub out of the pot. You know, when I was a landscaper, that wasn't going to happen. Root washing, it just took too long. But as an individual homeowner, that might be an option for you. Every time you get a tree, before you plant it, or a shrub, pull it out of the pot, wash the soil off the roots, and look at them. If you see any circling roots like that, you can cut them off. You can correct it. You know, don't be afraid to cut the roots on the plant. Another option is when you pull, you know, if you don't want a root wash, if that scares you too much, pull the tree out of the pot and look at the roots around the soil line and rough them up. You can take a knife, you could take a pair of clippers, and you can cut some of those circling roots and not worry about it. So that's a way to solve that problem. So anyway, I'm going to go in there and finish cutting off the root. I don't know if this is going to be enough to save this tree, but here's to hoping. And if you have any questions, or if you've ever done any root washing, let me know. I would love to hear your comments. Look at your trees. Go around your property, look at your trees. This one obviously went way too long. I didn't think about looking at the base of the tree. It's here on a slope. You know, I don't have a lot of time to run around and look at everything. And I did miss this one. So look at your property and tell me what you find, and go have a great adventure.